So address the question that Jamie Dimon is addressing. He basically said, we're not seeing it yet. He's not saying it's not coming. Is that your view?
It is. Regulation or deregulation is a function of the heads of the supervisory agencies, and they are just very recently in place. The new comptroller of the currency just came in. The new vice chair for supervision and regulation at the Fed just came in. The new chair is just coming in. So it's going to take them a bit of time to formulate the policies and programs they want. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. And there are some signs we are moving towards a more balanced regulatory regime.
So a bit of time. How long is a bit?
I think a bit in this case is 2018.
So we will see significant deregulation for the banks in 2018?
I think we will see significant deregulation, although the focus is likely to be on the smaller, the community banks, the mid-sized banks, rather than the very largest banks.
When, if ever, will the very largest banks see meaningful deregulation, the Jamie Dimons of this world?
I think in some respects this will also occur during the next year or so, but I don't think we're going to see a massive change. What happened in 2008 has left probably unhealable scars, and so the banks will continue to see high capital requirements, high liquidity requirements, where I think the relief is more likely to come in a regulatory regime which is less confrontational and less didactic.
What about compliance costs? And for that matter, the friction that comes from compliance, apart from the dollars and cents, just the inhibition, the bandwidth that's consumed.
Right. Compliance costs have obviously soared. I would imagine that at most major banks, the compliance costs in the last 5 to 10 years have gone up somewhere between 3 and 10 times. And these are difficult costs to deal with. I think the only way we can ultimately get at them is a basic reform of the areas where compliance costs have soared, particularly anti-money laundering. And that's going to take a major change in the structure of how AML is dealt with.
Well, what do you make of the Volcker Rule? I mean, does it get blurred or does it get taken out?
It will not get taken out except for the smallest banks. Senator Crapo's bill, which makes some meaningful adjustments, would relieve all banks of $10 billion and less from the Volcker Rule, which makes enormous sense. I think for the larger banks, it will simply be a clearer, simpler regulation, and that should be coming in this next year or so.